I know that in my early days of filmmaking, I used to look at other people with these big studios and lots of amazing clients and go, man, they've got it so easy. I wish I had that. Now, 10 years on and being in a position where I've won a handful of Emmys and spoken on some of the world's biggest stages and worked with some remarkable brands, I know that their journey would have been anything but easy. I mean, very little of what we've done has come easy, and none of it has come without failure. I mean, I've won 5 Emmys, but I've also lost over a dozen times as well. And when I started speaking, I used to get so nervous that my mouth and throat would get so dry that I'd nearly vomit on stage. And man, I've had $100,000 plus projects get cut and never see the light of day. There was this one network shoot where we brought in over 30 DSLRs and attempted to pull off bullet time, and we completely failed. Not a single frame aired. But here's the thing, all of these failures, big and small, they're an essential part of the process. And I think we've got our attitude about failure all wrong. I mean, we often think that failure is a bad word. It's something to be avoided at all costs. But the first step in really changing our relationship to failure is realizing that it takes 9 failures to reach every success. I mean, look, I've got this dream of being able to make my own original web series that has enough viewership that it can fund its own creation. Now, we've tried to make that happen many times, and so far, nothing has worked. We even have a 22-minute TV pilot that will never see the light of day. It was an attempt to make that big dream happen, and it failed. But it absolutely got us one step closer. Now, if we gave up the first time anything didn't work out, I mean, a lot of our dreams would have died a long time ago, right? Instead, I choose to see each failure as a step towards success, a positive iteration in the right direction. Like Edison said, I have not failed, I've found 10,000 ways that won't work. And when you start to see failure as a necessary part of success, as a part of the journey, well, then it's all about failing faster. I mean, we can be so afraid of failing that we never try, we never ship anything. So ship it, fail, fall down, but get back up and iterate. You can spend decades of your life stagnating, afraid to take that leap because you might fail. Or you could fail 9 times this year and be that much closer to whatever it is you're after. What about the Post-it note, another huge failure story? There's this guy named Spencer Silver who in 1968 was trying to make an aerospace adhesive that would be super strong. Now, what he came up with wasn't super strong, and it was actually pretty weak, but it was pressure sensitive, and it didn't leave any residue, and it was reusable. Now, 3M wasn't all that interested, and so they shelved this adhesive that he'd made. About 5 years later, Spencer has another chance to share this adhesive with somebody new that comes into 3M. And he suggests that they make a bulletin board and they cover it with this adhesive. You could attach and remove pieces of paper with ease. Now, even after they figured out that it would be better to put the adhesive on the paper itself, there were tons of failures, and the product was again shelved for a couple years. It wasn't until 1977 that they finally launched it as the Press and Peel, and it totally flopped. But they still didn't give up. They renamed it the Post-it note, had a much stronger marketing strategy, and finally, after a dozen years of iteration, it finally stuck. And now, Post-it notes, they're available in like 27 sizes and over 50 colors and 20 fragrances. They generate $1 billion annually. So many failures to reach the success, and each one got Spencer one step closer. The reality is, it's often the fear of failure that holds us back far more than whatever that failed outcome might mean. Think about that dream or leap that you want to take. What's the worst that could happen? You lose some money? Nobody shows up? You look silly? I mean, are any of those really worth sitting back and letting your life pass you by? I mean, remember Michael Jordan, one of the best basketball players of all time, took and missed 26 game-winning shots. In fact, he said, "I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." So start trying to see failure as a necessary part of success. Fail faster. Don't let the fear of failure hold you back, because I guarantee you, you're going to end up regretting that far more than falling flat on your ass.